Hello everybody, this is Marcus. We are back for another video with some more VGC battles. Thanks for tuning in. As you may have already noticed, today is the first episode that I'll be using a FaceCam, hello, and also this cool overlay a friend of mine made a couple of months or maybe even years ago for me to stream on Twitch. However, yeah, I found this in some folder and thought, yeah, this might be fine for YouTube as well. So yeah, I got a new cam. And today we'll be back on BattleSpot for the moment, using this very team you can see over here. By the way, let me know in the comments what do you think about the facecam thing. Is it important? Is it not important? I mean, it's kind of not really contributing to the quality of the battles, but I don't know, maybe it's more entertaining. As for the team, for today we'll be using Amoongus, Mega Gardevoir, Entei, Aegislash, Thundurus, and Landorus Therian form. I just built this team for this video, so I'm not really sure how well it can do. However, my plan for this team was to make a Mega Guardy team that fares well against Kangaskhan while not using Trick Room, because I don't really like playing under Trick Room, and I don't know, so I wanted to see if I can make it work even without Trick Room. It's a little bit similar to the team that former world champion Satan Park brought to Worlds. He had an Azumarill over Entei, and maybe some different sets, but yeah. So my current rating on BattleSpot is 1769 with 35 wins and 13 losses, so let's see if this team can help us grind a little higher. As for the sets, Amoongus is just standard bulky with Rocky Helmet. Guardy is timid, max speed, but for this team I felt like Hidden Power Ground may be the better choice for the fourth move, since I'm a little bit weak to Heatran. And we found our first opponent, Louise. I'm 13 girl, Heart, from Japan, with a team of Sylveon, Landorus, and Thundurus, both in the Therian form, Heatran, Cresselia, and Kangaskhan. So fairly standard team, except for the Thundurus T. And let's see how well we can do here. Guardy should be a pretty good pick, having neutral Hyper Voices against 5 mons and then Hidden Power Ground for the Heatran. So I'll definitely bring Guardy into this one. Amoongus would be nice to have against the Sylveon, the Landorus, and the Kangaskhan. However, yeah, Cresselia and Heatran, I mean, you can always bring Amoongus basically, but let's see if we have better options. I think Entei is also a strong one here, and I think I want to lead with Entei just because it can burn Kangaskhan with Sacred Fire. It could also burn Landorus if it's like an Assault Vest set and not Choice Scarf. It can also at least snarl the special attackers, so I think Heatran, I think Entei could be a good choice here. And then we definitely also need something to deal with the Kangaskhan from the get-go. And I think leading Aegislash is not the worst thing here. I am a weakness policy variant, so if he decides to, I don't know, try to go for a knockoff with Landorus or Heatwave or Sucker Punch even, then I could just hit him right back with a +2 move. So Aegislash and Entei is for leads, and then we do have Guardy. Thundurus could help, but Landorus Intimidate is always nice. And I'm an Assault Vest on this team, which also deals nicely with the special attackers and can knock off the Cresselia. So I think I'll go with Lando for this one. So let's see how this goes. Good luck to my opponent. And yeah. The Thundurus Therian is definitely an interesting addition to those standardish kind of teams. It's probably a Choice Scarf variant, or maybe even just offensive with Life Orb, as Choice Scarf Landorus T is not as common anymore as it was. Thundurus T used to be a strong anti-metagame pick, kinda, when you could just outspeed and Hidden Power Ice, one-hit KO Scarf Landorus, but Assault Vest Landorus just lives the Hidden Power Ice, so not really a point in going from his Scarf, maybe. My opponent leads off with his Thundurus T as well as the Heatran. So, Aegislash is not in the best of positions, though he need to double target it unless he's like boosted overheat or something. And Entei, yeah, it's just fine right there. He can go for a Snarl or a Substitute, as I'm actually a Substitute leftover set. I could switch out into Landorus with my HSH, but there's not really a point in revealing it just yet and like intimidating the two special type attackers. So I think I want to. I could King Shoot and Snarl maybe. That could be a play. Probably just Shadow Ball the Thunderous and go for a Snarl maybe. Yeah, Snarl not the best option right here, but at least I can deal some damage. Well, at least I can lower the special attack of my opponents a little bit. Going for the Snarl here reduces the special attack of both of them. Actually, he went for the Thunderbolt right before me, and ooh, can my HSH tank the Earth Point? Yes, it can, thanks to the Snarl. So we should be able to one-hit KO this Thunderous with the +2 Shadow Ball. Okay, so glad he didn't go for, I don't know, Heat Wave, because maybe that could have knocked me out. Though the damage is actually pretty similar, so maybe I would have lived that too. But Thunderous T is out of the field, his Heatran is at -1 special attack, so things are looking not too bad for me. Let's see what he could switch in. He could go for his Kangaskhan and go for, I don't know, just to fake out an Entei and finish off the HSH. But he goes to the Sylveon. Interesting choice. Maybe he doesn't expect me to have White Guard, but he already saw the weakness policy, so I don't know. White Guard probably the most common choice here as the 4th move on the weakness policy set. Once again, switching into Landorus is an option, but I don't really want to get it damaged, and yeah, I think just letting HSH go for White Guard could be a good play. And then I could just sacrifice the Sylveon, I guess. Entei is definitely in a fantastic position right now. Since his Heatran is at -1 and even then Earth Power won't do too much. I could also just go for a King's Shield and then attack the next turn. Though he will probably knock me out with any move. I'm not sure. Should I go for the Snarl or... I'll go for the Sacred Fire. Okay, so White Guard goes off. I could have gone for the Double Protect too, but I thought maybe the Heatran would switch out to negate the -1 special attack, and then if Kangaskhan came in, that would be pretty bad because he could just fake out the Entei and KO the HSH with Sylveon. And he goes for the Earth Power. Okay, so now Heat Wave right here. Earth Power with -1, not even 50% of damage, and Hidden Power from the Sylveon. Okay, so he doubled up here with Hidden Power, Ground, and Earth Power. But, oh, that actually KOs. Okay, so most likely he specs Sylveon. And, now that means he's locked into Hidden Power, obviously. So, could go into my Landorus and White Guard Earthquake. Because there's not really much you can do about it. If he wants to touch my Landorus with the Heatran, he has to use Heat Wave probably, unless he has like Hidden Power Ice, which is seen sometimes. If I went into Guardy, then it would mean that I would get off the Intimidate on his Kangaskhan, if I managed to KO something. Hyper Voice should be enough to KO the Sylveon. Though going into Landorus is also pretty tempting. Yeah, I think I'll go into Landorus and go for the White Guard Earthquake play. Because if he, like, for example, has Flash Cannon on his Heatran and I go for the Hyper Voice, then that would be bad for a Guardy. So, White Guarding and Earthquaking is probably the play. But then that also means the next turn, if he brings in Kangaskhan, he can just fake out and Heat Wave or Earth Power for knockouts. So maybe... Something else I could do is switch out into Gardevoir and let him live for another turn, and then KO him the next turn so he can protect and can switch in his Kangaskhan. If he goes for Hidden Power and Protect, which is probably the more obvious play. But I think I'll just play it safe and go for White Guard Earthquake. Oh, is he actually withdraws Heatran? Okay, that is good for me. Because whatever comes in will take 3 damage. Oh, never mind, he didn't bring Kangaskhan into this one. Interesting decision by my opponent. I'm not too sure if I agree with that, actually. But okay, so we get off the Earthquake. That should knock out his Sylveon. As it does. The burn probably helped here with the damage rolls, depending on how bulky he is. But Sylveon's defense is not that great, so if he's like, I don't know. But he's probably pretty slow Trick Room variant, so maybe he would have had enough bulk to live it. Okay, so this Heatran probably also built for Trick Room, so Superpower definitely not going to KO. Interesting board position. I could go for Shadow Ball and like any move but Earthquake, of course. But if his Heatran decides not to protect, does he have to protect Heatran? Depends on his item. If he's Shuka Berry, then no. But if he's not, then probably. Okay, this is tough. I could also go for just double attacks. I think I'll White Guard and knock off the Cresselia. Okay, if I White Guard and knock off the Cresselia, Guardy should be able to come in, and then I can just knock off and Hidden Power Ground the Heatran next turn. And I really not want to get damage off on Guardy, but it's actually not Citrus Berry as I was expecting by Rocky Helmet. Let's hope this Ice Beam doesn't KO for the Rocky Helmet damage, so Lando with Assault Vest should be able to live. And he goes for another Earth Ball, so still no Heat Wave, but I just wanted to play it safe. And it doesn't really matter anyway, since his Heatran is guaranteed to outspeed my min speed Aegislash. Okay, so right now, Guardy comes in. And I was thinking to go for Knock Off and Hidden Power Ground on his Heatran. But now I'm not really sure if I still want to do this. Because I could also go for knockout, a knockout on the Cresselia that most likely won't have Protect. So if I go for Hyper Voice and knock off on the Cresselia maybe. But then if he Heat Wave KOs me, I think Hyper Voicing and going for the Cresselia is still the better play though. Yeah, let's go for the Cress. Okay, so let's see. If he protects Heatran, that would be optimal. And if he doesn't, then we have to hope that we somehow can live 2 Heat Waves with Guardy, because Hidden Power Ground is not going to KO. And great, he protects Heatran. Because what I wanted to say is Hidden Power Ground is not going to KO through Shuka, so even if he had attacked here, we could have gotten lucky, kinda, and maybe he's not Shuka Berry. Oh, but he lives! Okay. Wow. Did not expect that to see. Okay, so Cresselia probably very bulky, but he also did quite a bit of damage with that Ice Beam. Ooh, okay. That was close. Now he probably goes for the Trick Room with Cresselia, because there's not really much he can do. So I think I need to knock out the Cresselia right here with Hyper Voice. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. I really thought we had this game. But Cresselia is so bulky. So let's see what the Heatran has. And he has the Flash Cannon, okay. Yeah, so we can hang on with 12 HP, but Hidden Power Ground probably not enough to KO him. But let's see. Goes for the Protect the Scout, okay. Fine, I guess. In situations like this, though, protecting is not really a clever thing in my opinion, because, I don't know, like in theory, I could be some, I don't know, have Calm Mind, I don't know, something, and then KO, whatever. Like, there's nothing to really stall out at this point. But he's Sugarberry. And we lose the first game of this episode, I guess. Good game by my opponent. Really didn't expect that Krasai to live, and if we got the KO there, then that would have been a victory. But okay, I take it. Good game. Beaten by a 13-year-old girl. How shameful. I think I pretty much went with the right stuff though. However, him predicting the white guard multiple times played a factor, so my Aegis Slash didn't really do anything. The one turn where he doubled into my Entei and KO'd it, which I didn't expect, with Choice Specs in Power Ground and his Earth Power from Heatran. So yeah, that definitely was not something I expected, and yeah, well played. So let's look for another battle here. Maybe we can try to do better there. But hey, it's Pokemon, you cannot always win. Yeah, make sure to leave in the comments what you think about this Oli, by the way. So yeah, let's think a little bit more about the past game. Oh, and we got a disconnect here. Yeah, his Cresselia was so bulky, I didn't expect it to take the Hyper Voice level. I mean, knockoff obviously doesn't do too much if you already knocked off the item, but I really expected the combination to play out. But there wasn't really much I could have done. Since, yeah, I mean, I predicted his move, but it just wasn't enough. So we have to look for mistakes before that. Yeah, maybe just attacking with Aegis Slash to the turn he sent in Sylveon would have been clever. Even if he just takes it down, which it would have meant that Entei would live another turn. And we meet Tylo with a pretty standard team consisting of Kangaskhan, Sylveon, Talonflame, Rotom Wash, Landorus T, and Aegis Slash. So I think Entei is pretty decent once again here. Stone Edge would probably be good on it, but I do have Snarl. Apart from that, Lander is definitely something I want to bring here. Guardy still okay-ish, though it's not good versus Aegis Slash, obviously. I could bring Thunderous, but I'm a T-Wave Swagger set, I think. So that would mean that... Oh yeah, I'm the exact same Thunderous that Shoma used at Worlds to win the World Championship. Okay. Could lead with Aegis Slash probably, to try and grab another weakness policy boost. And then I want to have Landorus, but I'm not sure if I want to lead it. But against this kind of teams it probably makes sense. The only thing that can really threaten my lead right now is his Rotom Wash. So I have to take care of that too. Maybe with the Amoonguss. Amoonguss looks fine against everything but the Talonflame. Or I could go for the Thunderous. I think I want to go with Amoonguss. So that would also mean no Entei though. But I really need something for the Rotom Wash. Okay, we go with Amoonguss. Okay, so let's see what this battle brings. Looks like a more straightforward offensive team. Probably Tailwind, Talonflame or something like that. Maybe he leads with Kangaskhan, Talonflame. Aegis Slash and Landorus is a pretty good lead against Kang teams as it shuts them down like right from the get-go if they lead Kangaskhan. And yep, Aegis Slash in a perfect position right here, since obviously Kangaskhan can't do very much to it and Sylveon can't really either. Unless it's Scrappy Fake Out, which is not that common anymore, I think. Inner Focus, after its success at the World Championship, definitely picked up in popularity. I think I could just switch into a Amoonguss really with my Landorus, because should he go for the Fake Out, then that would be like the perfect turn. And if he doesn't, then well, Amoonguss doesn't really take too much from the Hyper Voice. And we could bring in Landorus for later. And if he switches into Rotom Wash, then we wouldn't be in such a bad position. So I think I definitely want to switch in my Amoonguss. I could go for the Flash Cannon on the Sylveon. Could also go for the Flash Cannon on the Kangaskhan, depending on what do I want to damage more. I think getting off some damage on the Sylveon would be nice. And maybe he switches out anyway. So yeah, we'll go for the Flash Cannon and switch into Amoonguss. So let's see. Landorus is coming back. And the Scrappy Fake Out. Okay. Good play by my opponent's end. I could have gone for the King Shoot probably. Oh, and also the Shadow Ball. Now, I'm not too sure if I agree with that play, because that means even if he's choice specs, I'll definitely live that, and now I can go for Rage Powder and attack with +2 Aegislash. So that is kind of nice. Though, obviously, we want to take this turn, so good job by my opponent preventing that. And, I mean, maybe Aegislash is just the biggest threat for his team, so he really wanted to get some damage off on it. And another thing I could do is just go for the King's Shield and Spore something. I don't think he can do too much with the Sylveon, so maybe he's just switching it out. But yeah, it's 3 damage anyway. I think I can protect later on. Or, I mean, like King Shoot Spore, I could do that later on too. Now the question is, do I want to hit the Kang slot or the Sylveon slot with the Flash Cannon? I think I'll go for the Kangaskhan, because it has more damage potential and I expect Sylveon to switch out. Okay, yes, Sylveon goes out into Landorus. Okay, so that would also would have been a good target too. And Flash Cannon plus Rocky Helmet should KO this Kangaskhan no matter what it is. So we're in a pretty good position right here with the +2 Aegislash and Amoonguss. And he goes for the Sucker Punch, okay. Not really understanding that play, because I think my options are either go for King Shield and Spore or go for Rage Powder and attack. Though his Kangaskhan also lived because he didn't take Rocky Hammer damage, so maybe that was part of his plan right here. So, okay. Now, I do want to go for a Spore here on the Landorus, just so that it cannot hit my Aegislash with the spread move. I mean, I obviously do also have Wide Guard, but since Aegislash is at such low health, that's really not going to help me versus Knockoff, for example. And he brings in Sylveon again for the Kangaskhan, which is fine. Let's see what his Landorus decides to do, as I'll be guaranteed to get a Spore off right here, unless he goes for like Substitute or his Safety Goggles or something. He just goes for a Rock Slide, maybe fishing for flinches. I'm not even sure if that would have KO'd my Aegislash, even in Blade form. And we do hit the Spore. Fantastic. Okay, so I should be able to survive Hyper Voice with my Aegislash. So, taking that into consideration, I think just another Rage Powder is the play to go. We could go for an attack on the Landorus right here. But I think I would just want to take more KOs here. Or the first KO, rather. Let's see what this Sylveon has to offer. Landorus still asleep. And the Hyper Voice, okay. Ooh, brings me down to 7 HP. So probably modest choice specs with a lot of special attack. Though I'm not entirely sure how well Aegislash can do that. I can take that, and Flash Cannon obviously KOing here. I could have gone for the Landorus in hindsight, and maybe another Spore predicting the Hyper Voice, but I didn't want to take too many risks. And I mean, we do have the advantage right now. His Kangaskhan is low, his Landorus is asleep, so I just wanted to go with the safe turn. So right here, I have to decide whether I want to take a risk and hope for another sleep turn from Lando, or whether I want to play it, yeah, more conservatively. So I could go for another Rage Powder plus attack, but if he wakes up with Lando and goes for Earthquake, then that would be pretty bad. Or I could just maybe protect Amoongus or protect Aegislash and switch out Amoongus to get the regenerator boost, but then he would just be given another chance to wake up. So I really need to make decisions. Both Guardy and Landorus are okay-ish against his Landorus and Rotom. Landorus like not really great, but it can take a hit with the Assault Vest and can hit it back with knockoff, take off the Citrus Berry. I think Amoongus is too good to lose right here because it beats all three of the remaining of my opponent. So I want to get it back, regenerate some health with the Generator. And I just switch in Landorus because I doubt that he would go for a Hydro Pump in the Amoongus. But he could go for, I don't know, a Thunderbolt on the Aegislash, or, I don't know, an Earthquake probably with his Landorus, or a Rock Slide. So I should be good to take either of those attacks, and Aegislash just goes for a King. I could have sacrificed it here to bring in Guardy, but I want him to spend another turn trying to attack the Aegislash. And he goes for the Hydro Pump into Eggy. Okay, so right now I could go for a switch again into Amoongus, and then sleep him again. I think that's actually what I want to do. Yeah, I could just go for the knockoff here with Landorus and White Guard, but if he Hydro Pumps me and or Will-O-Wisps me, then I don't know. I just don't have too many options to deal damage anymore to him. So I'm going for a White Guard and switch to Amoongus here. Ooh, but he's still asleep, so I could have just attacked with Aegislash, but you never know. So he goes for the Hydro Pump, which is okay, I can take that. And right now, I just go for another White Guard and Spore the Landorus? Or I could Spore the Amoongus. The Rotom, sorry. You know what, I'll Spore the Lando. Because if he doesn't take out Aegislash that turn, the next turn I can just Rage Powder and attack. Okay, he goes for the Rock Slide, but I can block that. And he goes for the Thunderbolt. Okay, so was hoping that you could go for, I don't know, maybe a Will-O-Wisp onto the Amoongus or something like that. But it's okay. So we put Landorus to sleep again, and now I think I'll just bring in Guardy and go for Hyper Voice plus Rage Powder or Spore. Let's see what we trace. We do get Levitate, that doesn't really help us. Landorus has a guaranteed sleep turn right here, so I don't really have to mind it too much. And I think I'll just go for... I could also switch, but I don't think that helps me very much. Though I would regenerate a little bit. Yeah, it just depends on whether he protects with Rotom or not. But I think he will protect Rotom. And so I'm switching out Amoongus again to regenerate once again, bring in Landorus. I mean, I can intimidate his Lando, but that's not really the point in switching in right here. And his Kangaskhan doesn't really need to be intimidated, as I do have Amoongus to KO it with Rocky Helmet damage, and Guardy is Timid max speed, so I'm probably outspeeding it anyway. Or at least speed tying. So yeah, I should be fine. And I can always Rage Powder away just for that little bit of damage. And oh, this is actually Choice Scarf. Or it's not. We just Mega Evolved. I'm sorry. We don't know what item it is. Okay, so Will-O-Wisp comes off. Probably predicted the switch, or he just wanted to do as much damage as possible to the Landorus. Did not protect, so not what I expected, but it's still fine. I could go for another Hyper Voice, but then maybe he will... no, you know what? I'll just Hyper Voice and switch into Amoongus again. So I'm there ready and prepared for his Kangaskhan. And so that I can just Rage Powder off any attacks from Gardevoir. And we should basically have won this game, unless something crazy happens. Oh, but it actually is Choice Scarf, okay. So I was right there with my quick conclusion. He doesn't protect Rotom, but I do get a critical hit. 2 critical hits actually. So Rotom gets knocked out, and Landorus gets knocked out as well. And well, this wasn't the cleanest kind of game for my opponent. I think it still showed a little bit the theory behind the team I was using. As Kangaskhan couldn't really do anything against the core of Amoonguss, H/Landorus, and then in the end, Guardy was just able to come out there and scream a little bit and KO everything. So yeah, good game by my opponent. Was nice battling, and the forfeit. Okay, so we lost the first game, won the second one. I think it was still fun. The first game was pretty close. I could have won that, I think. I have to go back and check what I could have done better. Yeah, that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked it. Leave a comment, share it with your friends, follow me on Twitter at 13yoshi37, subscribe obviously, and so on. And yeah, tell me what you think about this overlay and about the team, maybe, if you want to talk about that. I don't know. I think the video quality was okay-ish. I'm trying this 2 webcam thing for the first time, but I think at some points it like started a little bit, so I will try to fix that for the next episode, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a great day or good night wherever you are, and see you next time.